We are live. Welcome, 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 welcome. And happy Tuesday. Welcome to
Happy.
Water Riff Radio. Oh, did you want to welcome them? I'm so sorry.
And no, just thanks for your patience in life happening. So, yes.
We are all okay with life happening, right?
Okay, good.
All
I
right.
just,
Well, welcome to Water Riff Radio. We
Mhm.
today are here to expose the invisible threats in the water we trust every single day.
Mhm.
Today's class is titled Parasites, Cysts, and Microbiologicals. Oh my.
Just like lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my. Ah, scary stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, have you ever really wondered what's really in your drinking water, your cooking water, your bathing water? Today, we're diving into the hidden world of invaders, microscopic invaders, those parasites and bacteria that may be swimming in your tap, your well, or even dun dun dun, your bottled water. So, this class is really going to open your eyes to how easily these pathogens, which, real quick, let's take a dive into pathogens, um, is an organism or agent that causes disease. That's it. A pathogen can cause bacteria, viruses, fungi, parasites, or even infectious proteins. And they can enter the body and cause harm by damaging tissues, producing toxins, or disrupting your normal bodily functions. So they can slip into your water. And what does that mean for your health? Jill's going to take it away with some contaminants and exactly what they are and all the fun things.
I've got a list here. So, oh my gosh, parasites seems to be like the thing nowadays. Like we are getting them from everywhere. And again, everything ends up in our water. That's why we're focusing on this right now. Yes, we can get them from the grass, we can get them from our pets. We're getting them from everywhere, from food. Like, yes, they're everywhere. We won't go too far on outside of the water, but some of these things can grow within the water depending on your plumbing, your systems, current filtration, old technology filtration units, and not picking any one of them out in particular. But when you look at like water softeners and reverse osmosis systems, you have to look at those tanks that are holding the water. Holding the water is the key here. It's not that they're bad, but if they're not being maintained, like these tanks will grow biofilm. Biofilm is living mucus, pretty much. That just made me want to gag. Living mucus.
Did make
Yeah.
me gag.
And, things like mold grow. Like these are living organisms, as you know. It's not like they just sit in the water like a toxin. A toxin doesn't grow. These microbiologicals do, and they wreak havoc on our bodies in different ways and different forms for different people. So, uh, anyway, parasites. Let's go into parasites. And of course, these are organisms that live in our host, drawing nutrients from them, from their host to survive. Common ones can cause digestive upset, chronic inflammation, and systematic imbalances, especially in the gut. And when you realize like how important the gut is, your gut is actually the brain of the body, really. It's the brain. It tells everything how it's going to operate for the most part. And when it's out of balance, it weakens the immune system. When you have a weakened immune system, guess what? You start getting sick and you have, for the lack of a better word, you have some really crazy imbalances. So, what I'm going through right now with even my pets is I've got a flea issue. Fleas are the hosts. that get into, they bite, they do all the things, they cause damage to the coat, the fur, everything. Well, if your dog is actually licking and itching, it can ingest that flea, which actually what causes a tapeworm in the system. And this has been a long process for me, and not utilizing medications and toxins that could quite possibly kill my dog. We've been going through this whole living cycle, if you will. And to eliminate the tapeworms, these are specific to fleas. So these aren't like tapeworms outside of that. But they live in the gut. And when the gut is imbalanced, that's what they feed on. So unless you balance the gut, you can't get rid of them. Let's move on to cysts. It's a gross word. Yes. These are dormant, hard-shelled form of parasites like Giardia and Cryptosporidium. Cysts are designed to survive very harsh environments, kind of like a dandelion in a yard. Including disinfection processes in municipal water systems. So you're talking about chlorine and chloramine. Chloramine, again, if you remember from the one class, is...
Tell us what it is in the comments. Do you know what it is? Hi,
Yeah.
Liz. Liz is with us today. Thank you for joining us.
Let us know what chloramine actually is.
Jill was getting ready to tell you.
Yeah. So these are extremely resilient and can remain infectious even after chemical treatment. So, like, these are major things that can get into our body. They're in our rivers, streams, and everything. So even when you're swimming and all the good things. Anyway, moving on. Bacteria and viruses. These are invisible pathogens. So you've heard of Salmonella, you've heard of E. coli, norovirus, and Legionella. And these are responsible for both short-term and long-term illnesses. Some can replicate rapidly in the body and damage tissue or overwhelm the immune system. I do want to go back to parasites of ticks and what a problem they are. If you have Lyme's disease, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, there's quite a few different toxins, bacteria, viruses delivered by these ticks. And what they do is they actually permeate the blood-brain barrier. So it's nothing that's treatable unless the treatment crosses the blood-brain barrier. And these are being dropped all over the globe, and it's spreading to our animals and people and things like that. Again, it all ends up in our water. So it's really important, even if your water tastes good, even if you think you got a great filtration system, you got to check into the microbiologicals, especially on a well. I don't know how many times I've heard my well water tastes so good. I was one of those people. It doesn't have the chlorine in it. However, it has runoff, it has toxins, and it has more of the microbiologicals because there's no chlorine in there to kill it. So this is the importance of this. So what are the most common microbiological invaders in the water, and what do they do? The Giardia lamblia. These are tiny protozoans that cause, I can't pronounce that. Yes, leading to watery diarrhea, fatigue, bloating, and weight loss. This is not the weight loss that you want to have. I promise you. It clings to the walls of your intestines and disrupts nutrient absorption. So if your cells aren't absorbing nutrients, if they're not absorbing water, like, this is why it's all over TikTok, it's all over social media about parasites. We have to constantly be detoxing our bodies because it's in everything right now, especially our water.
So have you ever done a parasite cleanse? Let us know in the comments below, because we may eventually maybe go that direction if that is something you guys would be interested in and doing a little of the research. I know Jill has went that direction a while ago. and is probably still on that journey. So we can always pick her brain.
I will be for the rest of my life. And it's like once you know, you can't unknow. And it's part of daily life, just like drinking water and moving your body. Like it's just something, yeah, we do. But pets, especially dogs, can get Giardia, thank you, from drinking contaminated puddles or tap water, resulting in similar symptoms like diarrhea, lethargy, and digestive issues. Well, I know when our animals start vomiting or they've got diarrhea, people freak out. They go to the doctor, right? What did they get? Medication. It's the medication is a band-aid. It's not a permanent solution. So it doesn't even rid this microbiological, it just stops the symptoms. So this is something, again, we need to address. Cryptosporidium, woo! This one is chlorine resistant.
So
Chlorine,
real quick,
yes.
Jill, I'm going to have you circle back. We gave them enough time to tell us. We do have a class that references that. However, we're going to tell you one more time. So chlorine and chloramine. Go for it, Jill. And then we're going to go into this chlorine resistant parasite.
Oh, okay. Chlorine, as you know, was used in the wars as a weapon of mass destruction. Why? Because it kills everything. It kills everything. And it's actually in our water systems. And we need it in our water systems in order to kill everything. We really do. But the problem is now it's making its way into our homes, into our drinking water. Our skin's absorbing it, ... right? So we need to eliminate the chlorine coming into the house. So what isn't affected by or killed by chlorine? Oh, I didn't go into chloramine. Sorry.
I would have.
Rand City. So chloramine is nothing more than the mixture of chlorine and ammonia together. All that does is cancel the smell so that you're not bothered by it in your home. So you're still cooking with chlorine. You're still bathing in chlorine. You just can't smell it. It is still detectable with the OTO drops. So you just can't smell it.
So therefore, it's not in the forefront of your mind. So remember, just because you can't smell it doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah. So that water that you used to drink from the hose, we used to drink from the hose
all the time when I was younger.
Mind you, water was a different ball game and the toxins were different. We didn't have microplastics back then. We didn't have all the paraquat and the herbicides and the pesticides and the glyphosates and the blah, 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 blah. However, if you go look at your old garden hose and the water that came out of it, if you ever look inside of it, you're not going to want to garden or water your grass with that ever. I promise you, not at all. So let's go back to Cryptosporidium. This is chlorine resistant. This is like bionic. It doesn't go away. So it is a chlorine resistant parasite that triggers cryptosporidiasis, often marked by stomach cramps, fever, nausea, and persistent diarrhea. In animals, especially young and compromised pets, crypto can be fatal if not caught early. So, yeah, you basically have diarrhea until you just are completely dehydrated, which sounds extremely painful, very painful. So that's something we need to take into consideration. We'll move on to E. coli. That's one everybody's heard of, right? This is a dangerous bacteria found in fecal contaminated water. And let me ask you, what water is not fecal contaminated? When you think about it.
Because remember, all water is recycled. There is no new water being produced. I think we've hit upon that in every class. So I'm hoping by now it's like registering, like if no water is new and everything is recycled. And everything, which we're going to get into, but everything that comes off of you in the shower, everything you put down the toilet, I mean, everything is recycled.
Mm-hmm.
Every time someone gets sick outside and then it rains and then it goes in the sewer, like it's all recycled.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Remember, there was a video out of a song. I can't remember it. I can't remember the name, but you could actually, it was people in a crowd and you could actually see what they were thinking on their forehead, what they were thinking about. Can you imagine like knowing, seeing your neighbor and your neighbor's forehead reading like, oh, we just got your water in our house today. You know, all those benzoprines you're on that you just flushed in your toilet? Guess what? I got them. Can you imagine that? Like if you could actually see where everything's going. Mind you, it goes to your facility to be filtered out. However, there's wastewater. Even though the filtered water goes back to you, it doesn't filter everything. The wastewater goes right back in your rivers and streams.
And Liz just said that she's got a lovely poopy plant, like literally in her backyard. So we can only imagine what's coming out of that plant.
What's the poopy plant?
Like, you know, where everything gets filtered and like flushes to and.
Oh, okay. I was like, what's the,
Yeah.
oh, wastewater.
Yes, yes. I guess that would be a better way.
I was like, is there a
it.
plant that's a poopy plant? I love that, Liz.
Poopy plant.
Okay. So
we can only imagine, like, I'm so sorry, what's in her backyard
Mhm.
and what's actually running out of that wastewater plant into the ground that's soaking into the amazingness.
I was blessed to actually visit her backyard not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah, she just said wastewater. Thanks, Liz, a little late.
So E. coli, we all have heard of that, found in fecal contaminated water. It's capable of causing vomiting, stomach pain, and in some strains, life-threatening kidney damage. I can't pronounce this syndrome. It can affect animals too in causing dehydration, intestinal bleeding, and kidney strain. So if you're already kidney compromised, you already know kidneys, liver, gallbladder, these are our filters. These are our personal internal filters. And if these poor little organs are struggling, E. coli is not going to help that. Legionella is not going to help that. Cryptosporidium, definitely not. So we'll move on to Legionella. And this is actually an interesting one. This bacterium thrives in warm plumbing systems and causes Legionnaire's disease, which is a severe pneumonia-like illness in humans. Pneumonia-like is in the lungs. So you've got these toxins that are obviously sitting and forming in the lungs. Can you imagine? Okay, think of water sitting in a warm pipe, sitting in there, maybe overnight, maybe for even 8 hours while you sleep. What can grow in 8 hours?
The banks.
Yeah. So for animals, while rare, it can pose a risk in highly contaminated environments, obviously, particularly those that have compromised immune systems. So having filtration that can handle these toxins, we are getting new toxins every single week, whether they're microbiological or glyphosate related, which we won't go there. So
eventually we will.
Yeah, eventually we will. So yes, and they may slip through, obviously they'll slip through your municipal water systems. Not all of them are equipped to handle that. So that's the importance of having and knowing your filtration system. It's easy to get overwhelmed with what it does do, what it doesn't do, because if we don't know what we're asking, if we don't know what these things are, we can't address it. which is why you're here on Water Riff Radio. Thank you for joining us.
But yes, that's exactly why we're here, to inform you, because when you know what questions to ask, you know what you're looking for at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you go in blind, like, yeah, I just need a filtration, and you don't really know, then you just buy a filtration.
I started with a Brita filter thinking I was the, pardon me, shit. I had two filter systems, two jugs, like I was good.
And you also had your refrigerator.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I never changed because I couldn't see anything on it. So, oh my goodness. But I'm alive. I made it through. Could some of these contributed to any of my illnesses? Probably, but I made it through. So how do these get into our water systems?
Well, that's a great question. So it's great to understand how these microscopic threats make their way into our water, because it's critical to protecting your health. So you've got, I guess, let's break down some pathways, shall we? We've got your agriculture runoff and what that looks like farms, your livestock operations. I mean, I've seen some livestock farms. What do you think of them? Where do you think all of that goes?
What is so dangerous is chicken feces, airborne too, not just on the groundwater, not on the ground, airborne, and we're eating this.
Yeah. And that's, you had to say chickens, didn't you?
Chickens.
Like the one meat I eat.
Yeah.
Rethinking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh my
And gonna have to let that settle for a second.
Let that visual go.
Yes.
That is not for you.
Moving on. Again, once we know better, we do better.
Of working with someone like me that's so visual. My apologies.
All right. And you've also got your fields that are treated with your pesticides, your fertilizers, and Lord knows what's in the fertilizers these days. And how it happens. Rain, irrigation, it washes away the animal feces, the manure, the chemicals that are being sprayed on things, coming from the sky now, which is just crazy, into our nearby streams, rivers, groundwater, into the grass, crops. And that is where the parasites, like a few, I'm not even going to try to pronounce them, a few of the ones that Jill went into, the Cryptosporidium and the G1. Thank you.
G1. Yes.
Yeah. And that's where those kind of come from.
Mm-hmm.
Even viruses can hitch a ride, I guess, with that as well. Like pesticides and fertilizers. My brain is moving so quickly right now because it's like, get through, because you have so much to say. Mm-hmm. Pesticides and fertilizers can also weaken the defenses of everything, making it easier for all of these little invisible invaders to thrive. Mm-hmm. The second one is going to be, do you have anything to add to that, Jill? Mm-mm. Okay. And then I've got sewage, overflows, stormwater. Where is that from? Your municipal sewer system, septic tanks, storm drains. Am I missing anything?
Well, look at all the floods that we've recently had. These are so, not to mention the mass destruction that they've created, but with this water, I kind of associate a flood like that, of that caliber. I compare that to reverse osmosis because it pushes and forces water through a small, tiny filter, which If you've ever seen it, it bounces off for the most part, but you have to be treated for weeks with antibiotics just for being in the water. It's that toxic. So even though you're not in the blood when you have excessive rain and all of that, I used to go play in the puddles. I don't
Me
play in the
too.
puddles anymore.
Which is such a shame because that was so much fun.
It was. It
I
was.
always go and run and jump and splash everyone around me.
Mhm. It's it's crazy. And however, you still have to live life. Maybe put some boots on. Go jump in the puddles and put your boots on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
it. Sewage overflows. It just brings out everything. It's like cleaning out a dirty trash can at high speeds with a pressure washer. It's like everybody's gonna reap, the repercussions of that.
Yeah. So how that happens, like as we kind of said, like heavy rains, floods, system failures can also overwhelm the sewage treatment plants, the causing untreated or partially treated sewage to mix with water. It's
Mm.
great. Now that just hit, like that's lovely. Um, so what gets in? Human waste introduces a cocktail of pathogens, which pathogens are what? Tell me in the comments. We went over that already. But it's bacteria, viruses, parasites into your water sources. So during flooding, these contaminants can spread rapidly and persist for days and weeks. And like Jill said, like sometimes it even requires to be on an antibiotic.
Mm.
The anything else from that one, Jill? Or I'm going to move on to aging water
Nope.
infrastructure.
Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead,
Cool.
sister.
So aging water infrastructure. How old are your pipes? What do your pipes look like on the inside? It could be old, corroded, damaged pipes, water mains. When's the last time all those were changed? And what were they when they installed them? I know we went through a lot of different like materials, if you will. So
Mhm.
how that happens, they crack, they leak, they underground, the pipes allow contaminated soil, groundwater. Again, the sewage is there as well, and it seeps into the water supply. So your soil bacteria, parasites, and cysts can enter through the breaches.
Mm.
And the risk is higher in cities with old plumbing or earthquakes, because again, when earthquakes, a lot of construction has to be redone. Um, so yeah.
Mm.
Anything else along those lines? Aging water infrastructure. So check your pipes.
Check your pipes. And they're quite expensive to replace, clean, all of the things. And when you have like a hard water buildup in those pipes, it's kind of like plaque in your arteries. Like it just keeps grabbing more and more stuff within your pipes. So again, it's up to us to use a filter instead of become a filter. Definitely.
Don't be a filter.
Don't be oh my gosh, I'm gonna put that on a bumper sticker. Oh my goodness.
Write it down. We still have to make those. All right, moving on. Don't be a filter.
Don't be a filter.
Private wells. Do you know anyone with, or do you have a well? Let us know in the comments. But rural homes, farms, properties not connected to municipal water.
Mhm.
And how this happens is wells are vulnerable if they're located near livestock is what I meant to say. Septic systems, agriculture land, shallow or poorly constructed wells.
Mhm.
I mean, God, I could keep going, but I think those are like the top of the top. And again, with that, everything's going to continue to run in them. Everything seeps into the ground, into the water, back
Mm.
into everything we drink.
Well, think about this. When you have a well, you either have a septic tank or some sort of encapture for that, which has this water just sitting in there, right? If you don't have a septic, then you have, they call them lagoons. It's literally, pardon me, a shit pond. That's all it is. And it is open. It looks like a regular pond, but I mean, it's crawling with things, and it's open to the air. It's open to animals running through there. And if you just think about that for a minute, you know, we don't clean we don't clean lagoons. We don't even clean septics. What we do for septics, though, we have like enzymes that we can drop in there, and it helps to eat the bad stuff. But does it really? Like, unless you have it pumped, like it's just sitting in there, which is totally, it's contained. However, if you got a lagoon, man, you got another whole dealio going on there. I used to think like, I want to live on a farm. I want everything natural. However, there's some things you have to give up and you have to be aware of that could really, really make you sick.
We're going to have to talk about that.
Mm.
Beautiful. Write that down. We're not going to talk about it.
Oh, yep. That's interesting.
It is very interesting. Huh. Now I have all these question marks above my head. Huh. All right. Moving on. So you're going to have limitations also with your municipal disinfection. Mm-hmm. Like most cities, like we have said almost in every video, do use chlorine and chloramine to kill the bacteria and viruses. However, some parasites, cysts, microbiologicals, have tough outer shells. Which one that Jill talked about has the tough outer shell? See, now it's fun. Now it's a game. Which one was it? And I actually said it. I had her say it again because I couldn't pronounce it. So now I just gave you a clue. So some have tough outer shells that resist the standard treatment of chlorine. And cysts can survive days, if not a week, in treated water. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm going to throw this out because it's a real live example. Over the 4th of July Day weekend, Lake Powell had contaminants, toxins, water and airborne toxins. So, real world example located? Right there.
Where is that located?
You know, I should actually know that. Hold on.
All good. No worries. I just didn't know if it was like local to you. That's why I was curious.
You know, I used to think it is local. I think it shares a border though. That's what I wanted to see. Utah, Arizona. Yep. I couldn't remember if it was, yeah. So they just had a huge, I don't want to say evacuation because that's not the right word, but they just had
a boil order maybe?
No, they had contaminants in the water, so people couldn't go to the water. They couldn't be in the water because it was toxic for people, pets. I don't exactly know what becomes of it. I wanted to do a little more research before I brought it in, but I also wanted to bring like a real example out with, you know, problems where there's parasites and toxins and cysts and every other little microscopic invader that we can think of.
And eventually that'll go back into some sort of municipality to be recycled again. Oof.
Yeah. I was going to try to figure out, but yes. So really understanding these entry points empowers you to take action. Mm-hmm. We are here to educate and actually educate ourselves as well. So take action and keep your water and your family safe. Like what does your process look like right now? You know, and again, if you'd like more on actually how to test your water or how to treat your water, let us know. We are here to serve you.
It's kind of our jam. Just a little
kind
bit.
of our jam. A little
Just
bit.
a bit.
A little bit. And yeah, this is like, well, lights are behinds up. So now Miss Jill is going to go into the health impacts that these have on us,
Mm,
our pets. I mean, every living thing out here.
mm, absolutely. And, a lot of times when you think about it, when you're going into symptoms, when you look at symptoms of every little, whether it's an autoimmune disorder or it's just immune compromised, or you have something that you've been diagnosed with, the symptoms are all the same, aren't they? Diarrhea, vomiting, nausea, maybe you have a fever, maybe you have a skin rash, like the symptoms are the same. We just look at the patterns of the symptoms in order to slap a label on it, right? But when we go into become tested for anything, does your doctor ever say, what kind of water do you drink? Like, could this be a parasite? Could this be a toxin that you were, exposed to? Water is the last thing that Western medicine will address and look into. And this is not a knock against Western medicine. It has its place in our society. However, it should be the very first thing that you're looking at. It's the easiest to fix. It's the easiest to eliminate the symptoms. Just changing your water can clear up your skin. It can hydrate your cells. It can create absorption in your absorption of nutrients. It can eliminate inflammation. Maybe, maybe not. But like I said, it is the easiest thing to change, impact in your body. And then you've got children and pets who can't speak for themselves, who can't take action because they don't know any better. And they're getting the dosages of water that maybe you're getting. They're bathing in the same water you're bathing in. So when you look at their little bodies, pets, kids, what have you, sometimes they get hit a little bit harder. So you can look at like chronic symptoms of fatigue, food intolerances, malabsorption, autoimmune responses. I started out with food intolerances, allergies at the age of 19. And back then, nobody knew anything about food allergies or intolerances. And I went through extensive testing. Insurance doesn't cover this. We thought I had fibromyalgia. We thought I had, I can't remember the name of that other autoimmune disorder. But mind you, they're all autoimmune disorders. That's all it is. And you just develop this allergic reaction to certain things. Well, I developed that with corn and rice. And if you look at corn, even if it's organic corn, I couldn't eat it. Rice, I couldn't eat it. And it's not like a peanut allergy where my throat would swell shut. My throat would swell, my tongue would swell, my tongue would feel like a cat, like it felt very rough. And I couldn't move my body for about 3 days. Walking was very difficult. It was very painful. And my heart beat so fast for days that I could be laying down and couldn't catch my breath. And that's what it did for my body. I know it does a lot worse things for other people that are immune compromised. So these symptoms, they were going to slap a label on me of something that it really wasn't. It was actually a food chemical allergic reaction. And when we start looking at that, even in infants, pregnant women, elderly people, water alone, not just what we drink, what we bathe in, water. I'm telling you, water is the easiest thing to fix. Change your water and then go after the symptoms and then go to your doctor and get your testing done. But it's just knowing where to start. And if you don't know anything about root cause or anything like that, I'm telling you, start with the water. Seriously.
One
It's a
change
game
today,
changer.
water.
And I'm not talking bottled water. I'm talking filtered water with the newest technology in order to remove all of these things. Yeah.
We have a particular days set aside for you so we can chit chat about your options.
Mm, absolutely. It's crucial. It really is. So yes, those are the health impacts. And some are acute. They come on, we address them, whether with medication or what have you, and they go away and we don't think about them any longer. But you're not fixing it, you're just addressing the symptom. So that's why I invite you to, look at those symptoms a little bit deeper, because you could have a stomach flu or you can have something pretty freaking serious. You just never know. But as I say, it all goes back to the water. So how can we protect ourselves?
Protecting yourself and your family from harmful invaders, if you will. I guess that's what I'm just going to start calling these from now on. In your water, invaders. Invaders we can't see. It's not about fear, like Jill and I have mentioned over and over again in these classes. It's more about being informed, being proactive, and making the better choices for you and your family, or your pets, which I guess are your family. But here are some things you can do to keep your water safe. Invest in a certified filtration system. What that looks like certifications. Why do those matter? You have to choose the filter certified for the specific things you want filtered. Again, when you know what questions to ask, which means you know what systems will actually filter what you're looking for. Every system is so different. So we want to make sure they're removing those microbiological contaminants. Next, make sure they're high performance filters. You don't want them removing 50% of something. Systems like PureWay use ultra fine filtration down to the 0.02 microns, removing 99.999999% of harmful
microbiologicals.
Thank you. Yes. Except lead. Lead will only do 99.5, which is still better than a lot of the systems that we have actually looked at.
And actually, that will be improving shortly to 99.99%.
Oh, we've got updates coming in a few weeks.
Yes, yes, yes. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yes,
that's exciting.
Big deal. Big deal.
It is a big deal. So now across the board, we can actually make that make that point. We can actually claim that. That's a win. Yeah. All right. Multi-stage filtration. You don't want just one. You need to make sure they have multiple systems like PureWay, because the best systems combine sediment, filtration, activated carbon, yes, and microbiological barriers to tackle a wide range of the contaminants. Again, as we keep saying, contaminants keep growing and growing and growing. There's a new contaminant every darn day, because the chemicals they're spraying, the new chemicals that they're bringing in, all of that creates something. And we don't think about the bigger picture, but the more chemicals they use, like the damn weed killer that stains the ground fucking blue. Where do you think that goes? What do you think that's also killing besides just weeds? Sorry, that was a little tangent. Eek.
No, it's
maybe we should do a class on that.
Passion.
Every time I see them, I want to rip it out of their hand and spray it on them, and they're okay. Coming back to reality.
They don't know any better. They're just doing their job, right?
Oh, it's like, can I inform you of what you're actually doing?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and then make sure with all of this, you have regular maintenance. I'm sorry. I'm going to go down more rabbit holes if I don't come back.
Pull it out. Yep.
Again, when you're installing filtrations, you're going to have to take care of it. There's an upkeep on anything, just like a vacuum cleaner. There's an upkeep. There's upkeeps on things. So you have to replace the filters. You have to, make sure it's working properly, all the things. You also want to avoid basic Karman filters for microbial protection. The limitations, your basic activated carbon filters, are
No.
great for removing chlorine, bad taste, and some chemicals, but they don't remove the parasites, the bacteria. And I believe Jill said this earlier, like we have to be aware of what the things are actually removing.
Yeah.
Not just, oh, your water is going to taste great. Because again, you can't taste parasites and cysts.
You can't taste Cryptosporidium? Wonder what that tastes like. Wonder if it's crunchy. Ew.
Yeah. So you wanna opt in for a multi-stage filtration with microbiological certifications and technologies, nanofiltration, UV treatment like Pure Way. And I do want to hit something here because this came up as a way to protect and boil water. And I have to be, yes, boiling water is great for certain things, 100%. But depending on what it is, it's not necessarily going to help you. It all depends on what the boil alert actually is. Because a lot of times when you boil things, you're creating more toxins. And again, you're not boiling the bacteria or viruses or parasites.
Liz says, you got me scared now. I got to look into my own. We're not here to scare you, just to educate.
I swear I just addressed that.
Yeah.
Did I not? What did I say, Liz? I said, it's not about fear. It's about being informed and proactive. Yeah. So, okay, now that you have this information, I know you have a filtration. So go check what that filtration actually does.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're gonna, worst case scenario, meet up with us and we'll have a conversation with you saying, hey, maybe this is what you can call the company with. Again, things are workoutable. Really? We don't educate to scare, we educate to inform. There's a huge difference. We can only do so much.
I think we come across so very passionate that yes, it can be. I totally get it. Yeah. I was scared at first too, but it's like,
oh, me too.
Don't stop living your life because you could, pardon me, pass tomorrow and get hit by a car. Go live your life. Go live your life.
Oh yeah. I was scared too. Like it was scared the crap out of me. At some point, I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to sit in the corner. And I'm like, well, this is not fun. Like,
right. Nope. That's not why you're here.
Right. But you take one step at a time. I know, I think I address this, or I try to address this in a lot of the classes. Like, it's not a change everything all at once. You fail every time.
Yeah.
Guilty. Do you know, I tried that for like 15 years. Epic fail each time. Slowly but surely it was one thing, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next. Because I'm like, I can't do that. And then all the stories started coming up. We just changed those stories and just one at a time. What's next? What can I tackle next? What little step can I take?
And it has a ripple. So even one tiny step ripples. Yep. It's bigger than what you think. It affects more than you think. So just tiny baby steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
We got off in a tangent.
I was like, oh, we passed we actually wanted to show you. Did we still want to show the video?
Yeah, I would love to do that. And again, this is not fear-based, but I want to show you. Let me say this first. Let me say this, that although it may seem very expensive to grab all this knowledge or to put in a system like this, however, it is not. You can test your own water we can guide you through the information in your local area. Whether you're a well or you're on municipal water, we can educate you on that. And don't be scared of, oh, it costs too much. Don't let the costs get in your way. It's less than you think. It's easier than you think. And my dog is coughing. Hopefully it's not a little cyst in there. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly and we will leave you on this note. This is so amazing. Can you see this okay?
Oh, I can.
Okay.
Let's wait for someone. I'm so sorry.
Maybe Liz is still out there. She can let us know.
She is.
Okay.
Oh, Liz, we love you too. Yeah, send us that link. And I do apologize. I'm not answering the comments back. Every time I do that, it pops up the video and talking happens and then we overlap and it's a whole thing. So I apologize, but I will get back to the comments.
I'm doing better at addressing them. So we're all improving. Okay.
And so, you know, Liz, I'm just sorry, knocked it on the head. Like, how much is your health worth?
Yeah.
Okay.
And your puppies and your mom and okay. So I'm going to leave you with this. Mr. Rob Shumay.
Ready. Hi, this is
Can you
Rob
hear
from
that?
Pure Way of Asheville and Lake Lure. As you can see, I'm standing on the shores of once beautiful Lake Lure and soon to be beautiful again. As most of you know, Lake Lure was devastated by Hurricane Helene. You can see some of the debris that still remains, even though FEMA, NCDOT, and the Army Corps of Engineers have done a great job removing over 100 tons of debris from the lake. Right now, there's septic tanks, propane tanks, gasoline tanks, and a host of other toxins have leaked into this lake. A lot of people, even here at the lake house, have said, I am crazy for what I'm about to do. But what I'm about to do is I am going to show how our Pure Way filtration makes even water from this lake safe to drink. What I'm first going to do is scoop up. And you can see that is not very desirable water in its current state. So I'll fill up our bottle.
Would you drink that? Okay.
What I'll do is squeeze a little bit out of the water out of there. And you can see it is crystal clear. What a difference, just running it through a little filter on our
Holy cow.
Imagine what our filter can do for your whole house. And now, the test of all tests. Fresh, pure, safe water. That's the Pure Way difference. Reach out to me and ask for more information. Appreciate all of you, and go Lake Lure.
Love it.
Is that not amazing? And that's just the microbiological filter. That's not even the other two on there. So that's pretty potent. Pretty potent.
Yeah, Liz says she loves that video. She said, no way.
I love that video too. Definitely.
She wants that little filter bottle.
Yes, I got quite a few of those because seeing that video is what actually led me to this filtration system and going way deep into all filtration systems. Yeah. It's amazing. When you know, and you don't know until you know. So
just seeing that difference.
Yeah, it's like,
if it could do that for that, like, just imagine how your home would be.
right? Oh my gosh. So again, if a water consultation is something that you'd love to have, don't feel pressured or anything. These are not here to pressure you. They're here to educate and give you options and solutions. Or if you know someone that is struggling with their water, they're in an area where it's really, really bad, or they're drinking a lot of bottled water, they're still bathing in the tap water. just share us with them, and maybe we can help them with, a water change. Definitely. Anything to close us out?
Well, I was going to say one last thing. I didn't get through all the things. However, just maintain your plumbing and fixtures. Like, make sure you flush your pipes out, make sure nothing is sitting. Clean your faucets and shower heads. A lot of people tend to forget about that, but they harbor a lot of biofilms and slimy layers of bacteria and microbes. So, remove them and gently vinegar them down, or put them in vinegar and let them sit for a little bit, and just inspect them every so often. I know with my mineral shower, like, I have to clean that shower head occasionally because, with the hard, awesome water Arizona has.
Oh, it's super hard there. Wow.
Really hard. And all the amazing toxic chemicals, like, yeah, yes, yes.
Oi, oi.
And again, one little step at a time. Like,
Mhm.
what do you feel is the next step for you? And again, if you're like, I have no freaking clue, guess what? We're both here. Let's set up a consultation. Let's have a meeting.
Mhm.
Let's really just lay out and answer your questions and see where the right fit is for you.
Mhm.
Because clean water is important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Agreed. Oof.
Yeah.
I love this class.
No more invisible threats in your home.
Mhm. Yeah. One change can make a huge ripple. Just remember that.
Little change after little change after little change. Little change.
Stackable changes, stackable ripples.
I just, looking back, like, and then we'll let you guys go, but like, looking back over probably the last six, maybe 7 years, it's like, holy cow. Like, I was here, and just looking back at all the little changes over time and how big that has impacted the choices I make, the life that I want to live, like everything just files in. Because again, once you start changing one thing and you realize, like, holy cow, that changed so much for me and I feel great, or I feel so X.
Mhm.
And then you start changing a little thing, and then you're going to start noticing and getting even more excited. And then you're going to do it again. 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 It's amazing. You're going to be on cloud nine before you know it. And then you're going to look back and you're going to be like, look how far I've come.
Mhm. I
I
love
mean,
that. The only reason I would ever look back is to see how far I'd come. Like, it's amazing.
yeah, from the refrigerator filter to the Brita filter to bottled water to spring water. I thought I was the bomb.com drinking all this fancy dancy stuff.
Oh, we were doing distilled water. Like, really?
We were
You're
doing
not
our water
supposed to
fast,
drink.
like,
Yeah,
this
you're
is
not.
the best water ever.
That's water you put in your iron, not in your body. Like, or your or your humidifier. You don't put that in your body.
Uh,
Oh,
so
fun times. This has been a really fun time.
it has been.
Yeah.
And if there's anything in this class that you're like, I need to know more about this, drop it below, because
Mhm.
we will gladly take that and run.
Absolutely.
Always looking for more exciting things to research.
Love it.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching tonight. And I will look forward to next week in Water Riff Radio.
Me too. We'll see you next week.
See you then. Bye.